Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is Cinema Historia. An accused arsonist, a schoolmate's remote cottage, and a distinguished law professor. This week we're going back to 1942 for a romantic comedy drama called The Talk of the Town, starring Cary Grant, Jean Arthur, and Ronald Colman. And this is directed by George Stevens. So where does our story begin this week? Well, our story begins with mill worker and political activist Leopold Dilg, played by Cary Grant. When the Holmes Woolen Mills factory burns to the ground, supposedly killing mill foreman Clyde Bracken, Dilg is accused of arson and murder. Not warming up to Dilg, the jury is asking for the death penalty for Dilg during his induction. In the middle of the trial, Dilg sprains his ankle while escaping from jail during a rainy night and seeks shelter. He manages to limp his way to a nearby remote cottage named Sweetbrook, owned by former schoolmate of his, Nora Shelley. Owner Nora Shelley, played by Jean Arthur, for which Dilg has always had a crush on, now a school teacher, has rented the unoccupied cottage for the summer. Not expecting the new tenant until morning, but showing up early, is distinguished law professor Michael Lightcap, played by Ronald Colman. Lightcap plans to use the secluded location to write a book. With both Lightcap and Dilg arriving within minutes of each other, Shelley decides to hide Dilg in the attic. The next day, Dilg is spotted by Lightcap, so Shelley passes him off as her gardener, Joseph. Next, Senator Boyd arrives and informs Lightcap that he has been nominated to the Supreme Court by the President. Meanwhile, Lightcap and Dilg, having spirited discussions about the law, become good friends and romantic rivals over Nora. With prodding into the arson and murder investigation by Shelley and Dilg, Lightcap becomes suspicious of mill owner Andrew Holmes, foreman Clyde Bracken, and his supposed affair with Regina Bush. With Regina accidentally stating she has a boyfriend who is hiding out in Boston, Lightcap, Shelley, and Dilg go to Boston to find him with hopes of solving the case. So, was the Holmes Woolen Mill fire really an accident? Is Dilg capable of arson and murder? Or does a boyfriend hiding in Boston change the direction of our story? Based on a story by movie producer and screenwriter Sidney Harmon, this was the second time that Cary Grant and Jean Arthur were paired in a film. With an 88% score from the film critic Rotten Tomatoes, this film received 7 nominations, including Outstanding Motion Picture, Best Writing for Sidney Harmon, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing, and Best Musical Score. This film is among the American Film Institute's 2002 list nominated for the top 100 American Greatest Love Stories, and its 2000 list nominated for the top 100 funniest American movies. And that it is. Once it gets rolling, it's quite comical. And our trivia question this week: did someone with an uncredited role ride something unique in this film? Did someone with an uncredited role ride something unique in this film? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question coming up next. Now, since our film involves arson, what did they fight fires with back in 1942? Well, I have a 1941 GMC pumper truck that was used in Stephen King's It. Yes, this 1941 GMC pumper truck was built in Oshawa, Ontario. The superstructure and pump were installed by the American LaFrance Foamine Company in Toronto during the Second World War. With a GMC chassis, power comes from a Chevrolet inline 6-cylinder engine and a 4-speed manual transmission. A 216 cubic inch 6 producing 90 horsepower and 174 foot-pounds of torque. Not high in horsepower or torque, performance is surprisingly good with both peaking low in the engine's rev range. Also equipped with a Bangor ladder that enables the truck to carry heavy and lengthy ladders on top of the vehicle. Originally sold to the Napanee Fire Department in Napanee, Ontario, Canada, this truck was used for in-town and rural firefighting. After years of faithful service, it was sold to an insurance company who in turn restored it. This truck was then donated to the Firefighters Museum and for many years served as a parade truck. And another reason why I'm discussing this fire truck in my video, recently the Firefighters Museum lost its home in Port Hope, Ontario, Canada, and has since put all its artifacts into storage. With a recent fundraising campaign to raise money for a new facility, its staff is hoping to take over the Cobourg Memorial Arena in Cobourg, Ontario, Canada as their new location. An arena rich in history in its own right, this space will be ideal for displaying artifacts, offering programs for people who will gain the appreciation of the long history of firefighting in Canada, the equipment used, and the people involved. Please help and donate. They will answer any inquiries, and even the smallest donation will be very much appreciated. Please go to www.firemuseumcanada.com for more information. And a quick note, they are in the midst of restoring other fire trucks, so stay tuned to my channel for more interesting stories. And the answer to our trivia question this week: did someone with an uncredited role ride something unique in this film? Yes. The Telegram Delivery Boy is riding an extremely rare 1941 Crocker Scootabout, made by the Crocker Motorcycle Company of Los Angeles. Less than 100 were made before the company converted to wartime production of aircraft parts. The MSRP for the Scootabout was $139 in 1941, equivalent to about $2,450 today. Pretty cool. I'd like to give out a big thank you to Christopher from the Fire Museum for his help in making this video possible. And won't you please put another log on the fire here at Cinema Historia with hitting like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you back next week.
Yes, I'm coming.
I'll keep in touch with you.
Oh, Sam.
Miss Shelley, the coffee pot is about to explode.
I'm coming, Your Honor. I'm coming.